Hi, everybody. Just waiting for people to show up. We're here to answer questions. If people have questions about the course, fix my headset. Hope everybody can hear me. And yeah, welcome. I hope everyone's day is going well, or their evening. We're moving into the evening. We've got some people checking in. So someone, Kimber, is saying that she couldn't work the website. So I've got to see what's going on with that. It's supposed to be cell phone friendly, mobile friendly. So sorry about that. But yeah, if anybody's having problems with getting the website accessed, if you're doing the course registration, and the first place to go is to the Way Clinic website and then to the events page. And if it's problematic for you, just send me an email. I'll just put my email up, but if you need to, yeah, send me an email. My computer's a little tippy. Laura at wayclinic.com. We're waiting for Tom to show up, so he's on his way. Yeah, there we go. Just let me know that you can't get in, you can't do the registration. The registration is really simple right now. Once we get people registered, we're going to do just application acceptance. So a letter of acceptance if you're doing any funding requests. So a lot of our community members will be asking for funding from different resources. This is my email, Laura at wayclinic.com. Anybody's having other issues with getting themselves signed up. And so Bella's asking if where can we get funding if we are not status? I'm not sure. Because we've been working with First Nations Health Authority for so long, and we're recognized with the Indian Residential School Society. So that's where anyone with status can get funding. I'm going to add Tom, and I can say that. Hi, Tom. Hi. I can say that I've paid for all my courses. Bella, I've paid for everything out of pocket, and it was an investment into, where I am now with how I still have to work. I still have to do, regular stuff in my life. Having some craft dinner, Tom? Yeah, so I can mute Tom, and here we go. We'll mute him for a minute. So yeah, that's the thing. Tom's status. So he's gotten some of his training for covered under his band, has paid for it, but some of them he hasn't. And Kimber, yeah, I have thought about setting up the payment plan. I can set it up on my system, so we could talk about that for sure. I just because we have one of the funding portals is closing June 5th. We're kind of just focused on making sure all those applications are coming through. But yeah, if that's something that you want to try to consider, we can definitely keep that happening, because it's good. The cost for the course for the 10 weeks, so that's like a 10-day course at $3,600 with 4 sessions. And the medicine circle. So we're going to be doing at least one medicine circle every second week in the afternoon, and the other afternoons will be breakouts. So in the morning we do training and a quick review of what we did last time, any questions, and then new skills, review of more skills that are coming up, and making sure people are understanding what they're learning. But definitely as I've done courses and training for the 12 years I've been doing this, it's essentially my university, my college, right? And then work, right? Here we go. So we've had Kimber. I'm gonna see if Tom has anything. The specific days are, I'm just because we do work in various clinics, we can adjust our days. So we're thinking that once we have people interested and enrolled, and we'll start, taking payments in the next couple of months. But once I have people interested and enrolled, we're going to get feedback from you guys, what days work best. If we have enough, then we'll do 2 days, because we don't want to have really big classes. And we'd like to keep, the classes like maximum 15 people in a class, because it just gets too big. And ideally, if we have 15, I would probably choose to do like 2 8-person classes. The days we were thinking of, Fridays was the one. Saturdays, like weekends, are kind of harder for us. I've got kids, and weekday is kind of the best. But we could be more adaptable too if everyone, pitches in and says, this is it, this is the best day for us, is to do it on a Saturday or Sunday. We can be definitely adaptable, because I'm not the boss. I think the people learning are the ones who are in charge here, right? I'm just helping them expand. Oops, I deleted Tom. Sorry, Tom. I meant to turn your mic on. But yeah, we're just letting people kind of check in. Hi, everybody. If you're new, just coming in, we're answering questions about the upcoming course. And yeah, Tom, did you have anything else? Anybody else asking things?
Well, maybe those that are online right now, if they have any questions about the type of work we do and what we work with and how we go about it, because there's so many different clients that we deal with. Have you shared, Laura, about your specialty in food allergies? Because I know there's a lot of allergies out there, especially with kids and skin conditions.
Yeah, I have. I don't think I've talked about that too much. Essentially, like with what the course content is going to be like, are we going to be introducing the essence of that, like some of the basic skills with how to work with energy medicine and allergies? Yes, because allergies, skin issues, immune system, it is tied into the heart field, and the immune system is tied into the heart field and trauma. And since we're kind of working a lot more with trauma, anxiety, fear, chronic stress response in the body, it is a source of allergy. So, it's definitely going to be addressed. And it's something that I've had a lot more training in, is working with allergies and the immune system, and helping it to kind of settle down, not just with the somatic work that we do, but with the meridian work and clearing substances. Yeah. But yeah, does anybody have questions? We're here to kind of check things out for people and make sure that we're addressing things. We're also going to add all your questions onto our frequently asked questions page. So this was just an opportunity for people to kind of chime in. And if you don't get on here live, then you want to ask a question, you can throw that on here, or just send us an email at wayclinic.com. One of the subjects I did want to talk about, Tom, was just what's going on in our environment right now, and the triggering around the isolation of COVID and the virus, right? The virus history in a lot of our communities is a big impact as well. I did have some work. A lot of clients come up with the abandonment, isolation, and rejection being triggers for childhood trauma. So what's happening is that people are getting pretty erratic or really like aggravated about being isolated and stuck at home, and really like telling me about how they're feeling about it, and they're just irrational, right? They're like, no, I just want it to end. It's just we can't be doing this anymore, and just pay attention to how emotional that is, and how if we're an adult, we are if we're an adult, we should have a bit more control over how emotional we're getting. But because there's a lot of triggers around abandonment and isolation, if there's a lot of stress and chronic stress from childhood coming forward, then the more of that childhood reaction comes up, that childish reaction comes up of like, I want it to be over. It's not fun anymore. And so it's been an interesting thing to see in a lot of my clients, and even in myself. It's like so uncomfortable. Why is it so uncomfortable? This is a short period of time. We're adults. We understand that, right? Yeah. So, we've got someone just jumping in here. What is the theme of this Q&A? We are intuitive healers working with Indigenous communities across BC, British Columbia, and we work with the Indian Residential School Survivor Society, we work with First Nations Health Authority, we have our own private clinics. We are offering a course in September, which is about expansion, enlightenment, empowerment, finding your best self, working with intuition, so teaching sensory awareness, what that yes and no looks like in your body. So, it's really more about kind of just try to find out who we are and what we're about here, and trying to find more information around our own trauma and our stored belief systems that keep us stuck, right? So our focus is in the course is to help people just, really understand their intuition, but also we work with people who are working within First Nations communities or with trauma, and not necessarily like everyone in this beginner's class is going to have that background, but we do have a lot of people applying who are, already working within communities or wanting to work in a private practice. And so we will have subjects such as ethics and promoting the business, a little bit more about that. But we'll have an ongoing Facebook group as well that is just focused on supporting people in growing their awareness around consciousness medicine and some of these ancient medicines that we work with. Tom's back. Hey, Tom. So, yeah, I can't.
When did we first go to that first reserve? How many years ago was that? I was like, what? Maybe 5 years ago, maybe more.
5 or 6 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So we went to this one reserve, and they knew nothing about this work we were doing. Laura and I went to this reserve, and they wanted us there, I think, for 1 day or 2 days, and within an hour, that person that brought us in asked us to stay for 5 days. And that's where we first started off, was this one community. And where Laura and I are at today is all mostly by word of mouth. And Laura's done a lot of work to get us to where we're at. We would go to when First Nations Health would have like meetings, we would volunteer and go there. We do sessions on like really quick mini sessions with different health directors, and I think when we did that 1 year, this is when things really took off for us, because it's really hard to explain this work that we do. Laura and I can sit here and try and explain to it what it is that we do, but you just have to experience it. Like everything that we work with is within the body. The body's always trying to get our attention and tell us that there's something going on in here in the body. And I can, I try and put it into words and how it works. But wherever the body hurts inside the body, like a really quick example of this one lady I worked with today, her lower back was hurting, and she seen an energy in there. She said, "I tried get them to let their imagination go and try to give it a form, a shape, an object, or whatever it is, wherever they're feeling that pain." And she seen a block of wood, and that block of wood is when you sense what that emotion is. And she said it was grief. And so for us, grief doesn't always have to mean that somebody has passed away. Um, when we started, because that block of wood that she's seen, it has a story to it. And so when she starts to figure out what that story is, that block of wood is holding, and that pain starts to ease because it is affecting our mobility. And so once we start unpacking it and breaking it down, she's the one that watches that block of wood leave her body and go somewhere into the territory, into the universe, or something comes to take it. And that is a very powerful technique, because that one there, I like that one because the client is in charge of it. That technique that I'm talking about is AFOT. So that's just one of the things that the courses that I've taken. Laura and I, we work well together because if I get stuck in something, I'll go call Laura, and Laura gets stuck in something, and then she comes and calls me, and then we work together on helping that person feel better. And I always believe that if these emotions don't leave your body, if you don't release it, you don't deal with it, then the body starts to deal with it. Wherever that energy is going to hang out in, if it hangs out in the intestines, then you start having intestinal problems. Or if you're always pissed off all the time, then it's going to affect your kidneys or bladder. So there's so many different ways that we can approach this, whatever it is that's going on with the body. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of what Laura and I do, because everybody we deal with, every client is different. And I've been doing this for a few years now, and um, what's interesting about it, if it takes me about half hour to figure out what's going on, once I figure it out, if I come across a person with the same symptoms or whatever it is, instead of it taking me half hour to figure it out, I'll know exactly what's going on with it because I've dealt with that. So sometimes these sessions could be like half hour, 45 minutes, or an hour. It all depends on the severity of the emotion that the person is dealing with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes it does take time to settle the body too. One of the skills we want to help people understand is that it is about making the heart feel safe. It's about understanding what threat looks like in people, and different diseases can have different behavioral traits. So one of the diseases that we work with a lot is pancreas issues like diabetes. Your noise. Oh, what's that? Okay. With diabetes, it's the pancreas that's affected, and the pancreatic energy, when that's out of balance, it's the emotions around it, the feelings around it, the behavior around it are like, I hate life. Nothing works. Everything's a problem. You're lying to me. I don't believe anybody. Why I can't take this crap anymore. It's I don't like anything or anyone. The pancreatic energy is about just it's good and healthy is the sweetness of life. So remember, diabetes is like sugar balance and how we use sugar and how the body is using it to manage life and to find energy in life and finding goodness in our foods is what the pancreas is supposed to be doing. And so when it's out of balance, it feels like we just can't handle life at all. And working with people like that is really difficult because quite often they're very challenging. And that's one of the skills we want people to kind of understand is like, what do these behaviors look like? Where do they come from? And when you have a deeper understanding of that, then you are able to come into sessions with a lot more compassion without triggering yourself. Because I know Tom was getting pretty upset. You know, he caught himself, but you know, you start to really understand the behavior now, and that in other people aren't just being mean. They actually have, you know, issues going on in their body that drive their behavior. And but it is also like, is it the chicken before the egg too? Is it the behavior that's causing the disorder in the energies of the body, or is it, you know, is the disorders in the body causing the behavior? It's kind of like getting to the root of what's going on. Tom was talking about what is the root going on? What does the energy look like and feel like, and how do we transform it? Most of that energy that we're looking at to heal is intergenerational trauma or childhood trauma. And that's something that we've talked about before. Dr. Gabor Mate mentions it a lot, is that the root of all addiction and pathology is in childhood trauma and intergenerational trauma. And so what's going on in the pancreas, and where does that come from? Well, it's probably from somewhere we don't even understand, because it's either childhood or intergenerational. So, you know, that's why the medical system gets stumped with some of these diseases is it's because it's not really a physiological disorder. It looks like a physiological disorder, but it's rooted in ancestral trauma and childhood trauma. There's a lot of diabetes on the reserves. Hey, Tom?
Yeah, there is. One of the things that popped in my head a couple of days ago, whenever there's like some body pain within the body, that energy that's in the body, wherever you're holding it, there's an emotion that's attached to it, and that emotion could be that energy that's in the body, wherever you're holding it, there's an emotion that's attached to it, and that emotion could be so that that's in the body, wherever you're holding it.
I can't stop it. The love of live stream. The love stream. Keep it going.
So wherever we hold that energy, that body pain inside the body, it has an emotion to it. It has an emotion attached to it, and all we're trying to do is figure out when that emotion, when that energy first started to form within the body. Because I look at it as a very small little energy, you know, over time it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I look at that, you know, like my addiction. My addiction, I could take it or leave it. But there was a line that I crossed that I couldn't take it or leave it anymore. Now my body needed it. You know, so I no longer had that option of taking it or leaving it. And it's like this little energy, this emotion that first starts off in the body. There's times that, you know, people think it's good by not talking about it or just ignoring it. But in the meantime, this little thing, this little emotion, this energy starts off as something this small. And over time, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And after a while, it's this energy that starts to control you. And that's what we're trying to get to is when is that emotion, when did you first feel it in the body, and what happened for you to feel that? And it's really interesting watching this when I'm questioning people and asking them, working with them. watching that transform. And what I really find interesting is when people get it, they don't say wow, they don't say holy smokes, they don't say anything. But what I'll hear from them, they'll go, huh. And then I know that it's going to be a huge release because they get it. And I've seen that with so many of my clients that I've worked with, where they'll just go, huh, because it's like a light bulb that went on in their head, or to realize that it wasn't their fault.
Yeah.
So yeah, and a lot of the stuff that we carry inside the body is not our fault. That comes from somebody doing something to us or us witnessing something, especially at a young age. Because at a very young age, like let's say a 5-year-old can't process things that are going on. So it's that energy that gets stuck in the body, and they don't know what to do with it.
And it wasn't theirs to be holding on to in the first place. But because it's so tied into family and being loved, then as a child, we carry that into our adulthood. That if we let that go, that means we're not going to be like our mom, or our mom won't love us anymore, or our parents won't love us anymore. A lot of one of the other things I hope to talk about in the course, I hope we have a section on, is about our relationships and our patterns of, how we love each other, and what does that love look like in our personal relationships. And some of us are grown up in unhealthy environments and really chronic stress, like a lot of chronic stress, and a lot of restricted and held back love, which, when we start working more in First Nations communities, that's the story, because residential school was all about taking the kids away from the parents, and the kids learning that, what does family look like? What does parenting look like? Because that's how we learn to be parents, is from our parents. And so, I'm working with families that are from their parents and their grandparents were in residential school, and they can't parent their own kids because they that pattern, the behavior in connecting and loving someone is, it's still love, even though it looks like rejection, abandonment, not being there, pushing people away. It's not. It's still love. It's just not healthy and incredibly pure, clear love. It's just love, right? It's not. It's like a healthy love looks like connection, treating each other with respect and love, and unhealthy love is not. And that's the normal, right? So the normal is that really unhealthy love. And so if you start to try to repattern your belief systems and those behaviors that were handed to you from your parents, it's hard to get out of that, because it's connected to your parents' love and their bonding to you. And so, that's where the consciousness work and the work that Tom does is, we're working at what this looks like inside your body, not just on a mind level, but an energy level. How is your body storing that behavior? And, some of these energies are so strong and so much emotion in them that they actually start causing physiological stress, not just addiction, but because it's still stress in the body that hasn't been released or addressed, right? But it's great. We've got some people checking in with us in different places. I don't have all the places up here, so if you are trying to send me any messages or get a hold of me, you can reach us at laura@wayclinic.com. There's also Tom. Tom's got a Wayclinic address, right? And yeah, I mean, what else are we trying to offer in the course is people were asking me, like, yeah, exactly, what does the syllabus look like? What does the course subject look like? And that's stuff that we have a great idea of it. We've gone through all the subjects that we want to teach. We just have to kind of get that put out there, right? And we want to just work with the basics on the first semester. Basically, we're going to do a 10-week and then do a second level in the following season in the fall. So people who are signing up with the NIB program, so if you're looking at the getting any funding, there is a two-season course that people can access there. And yeah, we're just here to kind of answer any questions, see what people have to work on too. The other thing is that if you guys have any interest on being on the live stream with us, we do want to support ways of seeing the work for other people. If you're comfortable with coming on the live stream and doing sessions and having some work done with each other, I will be doing another live stream and having another Maori mentor, Maori healer mentor on live stream. I haven't got the dates for that, but I will be posting that pretty soon. I think it is in the next week. We're just trying to get the time set up because it is like a weird time difference to do. And Kimber's asking, do you have to take the beginning course to access the second one next year? It depends on obviously everyone's skill level and their experience and how much training they've done. And if it's the second level course is something like Kimber, I'm kind of familiar with what you've got for training. And so, yeah, you probably would be okay with coming into the second level. The first level as well, as I said, because we're having such a variety of people kind of signing up and registering already. We have people who have experience and we have people who don't have any experience. What I want to do is just, basically do two types of days. So if we do the 10-week course starting in September and I've got 15 people who have no experience, I want them in one class. If I've got 10 people who have, more experience or are more aware of energy healing and conscious medicine, the language is going to be different. So we'll have them have another class. Hey, we got your dad on here. We got to get your dad on live stream. Hi, Murray. How are you? Tom's dad, everybody. But yeah, I'm just trying to, you get more feedback as time goes on. We'll have some more of these live streams because we do get a lot of questions throughout the weeks and people trying to sign up or just wanting to know more about what we're doing. And as this course syllabus is getting more, but we could bring you, Tom, or we could bring you, what, look at you. What are you talking about? We could bring you on the screen into our actual stream, but I have to send you a link. So if people do want to come on live stream with Tom and I and do sessions, you could do live sessions. We're welcome for people to do that. I could send you a link before the live stream happens and email you or message you, and we can have you on here. It's really fun. We do like a medicine circle, talk to you guys about what's going on. It also gives everybody who's applying to the course an idea. I have some people who don't even know what we do or haven't really worked with us, and they're trying to apply. And I'm like, well, really want to make sure that you have an idea of what you're getting into, because I don't want you to just kind of be signing up and then it's not exactly what you thought it was. So we like to do the live stream so that people can just kind of get to know us a bit more. Does that make sense? And if you do want to get on live stream, you can just send me, if I'll put the banner up again here. Send me
I think it
messages.
would be
And
good. It would be good to get Dad on here, Dad and Mom, because they both went to Indian Residential School and they're both counselors.
yeah, yeah, get some interviews. And that's the other thing, is that we can use this as a way to support the other workers in our field, right? Getting them to talk about what they're doing and what they're seeing, kind of sharing information, right? Yeah. Well, I think like we've got some questions. We've had people coming in and out. And does anybody else have any other questions, or like, what's going on with your dad here? Is he just coming in to say hi? Yeah, I'm just trying to develop it. We're just getting really clear on the syllabus and what we want to do. And if the beginner course, yeah, Kimberly, you're saying that you have to take it. It's really just, we're pretty adaptable of like, if you feel like you are good with the course concepts, when we have that fully set up, I know I want to get it together and finalized. I'm working on it, but once it is finalized and you get a good look at it and we're talking about it, we can, if there is that second level class that I'll be offering in the first semester there, the first in September, then yeah, we're going to let people move into that for sure. We just definitely have a lot of like really fresh people who haven't done a lot of energy medicine. And yeah, I just think if we can fill the class a bit more, then we could definitely do two levels in September, right? Yeah, and what's been going on for, everybody too? How is everybody handling? Oh, darn. Adina's just talking about. So yeah, if you guys are having problems finding the events page or finding the link. So the Facebook page, I put the wrong link, or I just put it probably to the website. But can you find the events page like from that landing page that the link takes you to? That's all. And I really appreciate the feedback on this, because Tom and I, working in this field, you are self-employed. You got to build your own website. You got to build your own content. You've got to promote yourself. You got to make those contacts. And that's what Tom and I have done for 12 years. And I've been working as a self-employed practitioner for that long, because I believe in the intuition process. I believe in asking the body, and the body holds the knowledge. The body knows how to heal it. There's an innate knowing within the body, and I absolutely 100% believe that. So, in conventional medicine, it's really frowned upon, is to say that the body has its own wisdom and I can communicate with it, right? So I'm not really all that hireable as a as a general counselor or therapist, because I practice intuition and intuitive medicine, and I give it my full force and trust, and I know it's effective and I know it works. And that's my hope and goal with the training, is to really help people understand their five senses, their subtle senses, right? The level of your physical sense is quite different than the subtle sense. And so some people I work with, as I'm working on them, I can tell there's some major shifting happening in the body. I can feel it, and they have no idea. They're not connected to their body at all. So some of us are really disconnected and dissociated from ourselves, and we don't feel it. We don't connect to it. But once we start really listening to the subtle senses and working with them, you are really communicating with your body, and you're communicating with your consciousness in your body, and your body will start to feel safe. It'll start to flow better. You'll start to, your body will start to relax more. Meditation will become something that's just like second nature, right? And so what's really important is most of us is just to really listen to our body. But that's really what I hope to help people understand, is that the go, go, go in life, the trauma that we've gone through, it takes us away from paying attention to our body. And that's one of the most important things to heal, or to start to heal, is to be aware of what's going on in our body, deeply aware of it. Right, Tom? Being really aware of it and seeing it and feeling it and helping it release and let go.
Yeah, I remember when I first went to this one counselor, and I don't know how many times I had gone to see him, and he gave me two rocks to hold on to. And I held on to those rocks, and they started heating up really quick, and then I felt this energy in my body. And I can't explain it, but something was going on inside my body. I remember saying, "Whoa, what the hell's going on here?" And I could feel it as like an elevator going up inside my body, this energy. And he said, "You'll be okay." And I always remember that about those rocks. He never told me about them, but he just told me to hang on to them. I worked with this one lady. She could not check into the body. She couldn't sense anything going on in there. And so I bring rocks with me too. And I gave her these rocks. I gave her one in each hand. We were talking, and all I did was I told her, I said, just whatever emotion is going on in your body, whatever stress, just have the intent for it to go into those two rocks you're holding. And she didn't tell me till we were done that when I gave her those rocks, she said, "This is so stupid." And then probably a couple minutes later, I said, "How are you feeling?" She said, "I can't believe it." She said, "I can't even lift my arms." She said, "They're so heavy." And I said, that's how heavy these emotions can be. They weigh nothing, but they can sure affect your life. And she noticed a huge shift when she put those rocks down and she watched it go into the land. And I share that about these emotions, all the stuff that happened to me. Like I was a helicopter logger for 12 years. I got scars all over my body from getting hit by logs, and in one of the I got up and spoke in an AA meeting one time, and I talked about those logs that hit me and me running for my life. And that one log that hit me was probably about 5,000 pounds, but it was rolling down the hill, and that thing almost killed me. And my emotions that were stuck in my body, those things didn't weigh anything, but they're strong enough to kill me too. Just like how that log just about killed me. And if I didn't start this healing journey, I know for a fact that I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I would have got, my addiction would have taken me, or something would have happened. Um, but I'm grateful that I've been on this healing journey for a few years, and I love this work. I absolutely love it. I love working with Laura. We've got so many friends within the healing field that we can all bounce ideas off of. We can call each other's to support each other's, and I'm glad that we're doing this too, because we get more of us out there to be able to help.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you start to think about this and you start asking questions, you start asking us questions. Is like, my question to you is that when you start learning this stuff, you're I think my vision for this, what this course is like, when somebody comes to you that has some kind of trauma, how are you going to help them? What are the tools that you're going to use? What are the tools you're going to use that Laura and I are going to share with you? What are the tools that you're going to use to calm this person down, to stop them from hyperventilating, to get their body pain, because these energies have so much body pain to it. Migraines. Um, I remember this. I don't know if I shared this the last time, but the migraines come from a belief system. When I first took that course, Hands on Healing, when that lady had a migraine and she put her hand up, she said, "I got to quit." She said, "My migraines last for 5 days." And the instructor said, "Give me 10 minutes." but I want you to tell me 5 positive things about yourself. And I can't remember how many positive things she came up with. And the instructor said, just stay where you're at and just keep repeating those affirmations as positive things. She said, I'm going to go back and teach. She said, you put your hand up when your migraine is gone. And she went back teaching, and 10 minutes later, that lady said, I can't believe it. She said, my migraine is gone. And my migraines came, mine happened in my eyes. I'd see little spots here. And so mine came from teachers when I was in grade 8. Didn't know, they passed me along in elementary school until I got to grade 8, and they did an assessment on me. And I had a grade 3 level education. And I still remember those 3 teachers. I don't know if they're teachers, but there's 3 of them sitting across from me, and my mom was sitting right beside me. And they told my mom that I should just quit school, that I'm not going to make it to grade 11, let alone graduate. And that's all I heard them say. But how I interpreted that I was stupid. So when I couldn't figure something out, I would hear those words, "You're so stupid, Tom," and then I started getting those migraines. And then I didn't realize that until I took that course. So when I get those migraines, I do reverse. I do positive affirmations. You know, you're smart, you're this, you're that. So instead of my migraines lasting for 6 hours, they only lasted for like 10 or 15 minutes. So that's what I believe. The majority of the migraines come from a belief system. So next time somebody out there gets a migraine, see how that works. Start saying some positive things about yourself, because that's rewriting what those teachers said to me.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that helps somebody.
Yeah, and part of the training is definitely working with belief systems and trying to identify where they're coming from or what they're about. And what the testing training can do is just give people skills to find these things a little bit faster. It does take time. It does take practice, and but it's pretty amazing. And now, you know, Tom, where you're at, you're really able to do a lot of that work on your own, on yourself. But as a practitioner doing this for so long, I know that I need help from other practitioners too. It's just you can't just pull it off on our own all the time, right? So we do our best, but yeah. Anyways, it's been like an hour we've been on here. Of course, we're not surprised. We can talk for entire days on end. Hey, Tom?
You can, not me.
I just know Tom. I just keep talking. Hello. Well, we're used to working with people and talking all day long, so it is easy for us to keep going. But yeah, we just want to make sure everybody knows that they can ask us questions if they have anything. That there is a cutoff date for one of the fundings if you are Métis status, and you want to do this work because it is considered self growth and expansion and empowerment, and helping people in your own community is our goal, right? Is to help people learn to do this. We're getting people from many different communities in more isolated areas, which is really amazing. We can reach so many of those people, and we know so many of those communities. So we've already got quite a good network set up. So it's just a great thing that's happening. We're doing this online, and I think it's what is exactly supposed to happen. Hey, Tom?
Yes, that's right.
All right. I think, well, if anybody else, we've got one more comment. Oh, it's Sherry. Sherry from Witsit. Hello. Yeah, Sherry, we just answered questions about a course we're doing. Did you know that we're doing a course in September? We just launched it. And so stay tuned for more live streams. It's accessible by anyone. There is funding, but it will be one of the funding sources is the end of the application is June 5th. So that's why we're just trying to make sure that if anybody is wanting to apply, they have to go to the website and apply there. And then we send
Is,
you a letter.
is this all
Yeah.
gonna be online, or are we all going to your place? How's
Come to
this?
my house.
So this is
We
all gonna be
could,
through Zoom?
yeah, yeah. Well, it's once a
Okay,
week, so
yeah,
yeah, you're not gonna travel to Kelowna every week, Tom.
okay, it's
You
good.
could, you could too come for a couple of them, yes, if you wanted to make the
Yeah,
trip. But
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, we do have the space to do it. We could have a small class. I do have a bigger space. So if there was local people that wanted to come into the Kelowna studio where we're working from, and that's a possibility. But due to COVID, I really want to be able to support the communities that are isolated. And members don't have to have any experience if they're applying. So that's the hope, is that we do the two levels in September if we have enough applications happening. Right?
right.
Okay. Are we saying bye to anybody? Here's who else have we got on here? Uh, What? They don't know. All right. I guess we'll have a good night and let everybody go. And any more questions, send them our way. We'll talk to you guys in the coming weeks for sure. All right. Good night, Tom.
Good night, Laura.
Good night, 6 viewers. Left of them. Okay, well, take care.